everybody, and welcome to the SmackATTACK. I am your host, Jimmy T. That is my co-host, Dr. Jeff Lippman, and we are live on HMG YouTube channel and on Channel Attitude After the Fact. Jeff, what's going on, my friend? How's it hanging?
What's happening, everyone? Boy, SmackDown, that was a 40 minutes of really good television.
I enjoyed SmackDown, even though it was basically all about one thing.
Yeah, 40 minutes of it was great. The other 80 minutes was like, eating like, styrofoam.
You're a character. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. And what's Scotty Woodford saying? I thought Jimmy T was banned. Lol, just kidding. I'm never banned. Come on, man. Why am I banned? Don't jinx me. And Zane, come on, man. It's love's in the air with the Bloodline, bro. It's a battlefield out there. But what's going on, everybody? Gruss, thank you for also joining us. And Cold-Blooded, of course. What's cracking, man? And yeah, Jeff, but you know what? Before we do get into anything, have you seen the ruckus online about the NXT AEW ratings war going on all over the Twitter, should I say? Social media is blowing up over who won and who didn't. Meltzer's denying that NXT won, basically then going back and saying they did win, but they're not in more homes. At the end of the day, I don't know what Meltzer's on about, but they lost to a developmental brand.
I mean, listen, he's really going through contortions to try to spin this. This is what he is saying. He is saying that because the CW is in more households than the Turner networks, and if you do the math backwards, AEW actually did better. However, while it's true that the CW is in more households, first of all, that's never been a standard that we've used before. I mean, Turner networks are in more networks in households than USA, not by a lot, but it's a few million.
Apparently, it's 9% actually, Jeff.
Well, no, 9% is CW to Turner,
right,
not Turner to USA.
Right.
But the CW doesn't get nearly the viewership that Turner gets. I mean, the average show on the CW gets 90,000 viewers an hour. So, right. I mean, by that metric, it's completely different. Anyway, it's dumb. NXT had more viewers, period. It had a higher demo by 0.01 or 0.001. I'm not even sure how to do it. It was 0.1717 over 0.16. Neither show has much to brag about, but NXT won. And he's saying it's a lot because of ECW nostalgia. Yeah, I agree. He's right. But if you're going to switch nights and you're on a new network, it's just smart to do that. So they booked the historic arena. They gave you a little bit of nostalgia. I'm sure people were expecting more. I didn't think NXT was a particularly good show, to tell you the truth. I have zero nostalgia for ECW, though. I mean, I've said it many times. I never liked ECW. I'd actually be a little bit disappointed with the results if I was WWE and CW, but they did win. So Meltzer just he proves himself to be non-objective, and he's willing to spin and contort and stretch and turn on its head logic any way to make his case, anything other than just to report reality. Like if he just said, I enjoy the AEW show so much more, I like it more, that's the product I like, but this, nobody would give him any shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what else is fucking stupid, dude? He ends up blocking you if you go against the grain, first of all, right?
Oh, I know. Believe me.
And then you've got people that stick up for him, right? Saying, well, if you don't subscribe to his newsletter, right? Apparently he talks about all the time how AEW's booking needs to improve or else they're screwed. But then on Twitter, he's completely the opposite. It's like, he's just, I don't understand him if that's the case.
I don't either. I don't really understand what's going on. And sorry for anyone who's watching and sees them a little bit distracted. I'm actually currently texting with Mr. Thomas from MLW Wrestling because he is one of the alternative co-hosts to Book of Black, along with PJ and Super Panda. And we just had someone else, a new alternative co-host who's agreed to be part of the team, and that's Lufisto, the legendary Lufisto.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Talk
very
about
excited. Very
controversy.
excited about it all.
So what happens? So is this for the PJ Black version of Garden of the
Yeah,
Deep?
PJ. Okay, so for those who don't know, PJ is first of all, he's nursing his first injury in professional wrestling in 26 years. Now, everyone remembers the parachuting base jumping accident, but that wasn't in wrestling. So he's going through that. He's also has to do some other things to make income during this time, which is taking part time. And when you're a wrestler, it's an adjustment to do something else and to do the rehab and all that. He's also converting to Judaism, which is
Wow.
not easy. If you want to become Christian, you just go to a priest, they dump your head in water and they say a prayer and you have a sponsor, and that's that. It may not even be that complicated. Now, Judaism is like a 2-year labors of Hercules kind of ordeal. We don't make it easy. And he's also planning his wedding, which is tied to him converting. But he's not just planning one, they're planning two. And neither one is in the US. One is in Israel and one's in South Africa. So so we're going to do 2 more shows, which will make it an even 12, because that fits into all of the esoteric wisdoms that he loves, and I do too. I'm going to try and trick him into 13, because everything's really 13, but we'll see. If he's watching this, he isn't. He just heard my trick. But to keep the show going, I figured, when he needs time off, or just to keep his sanity, or when he gets back into wrestling or whatever, that have some extra people. And one thing I'm good about is making guests repeat guests and turning some guests into co-hosts. So I'm hoping to keep it up, and it'll still be Book of Black. It will never not be Book of Black unless he doesn't want it to be. But and then when he's ready to come back, it'll be season 2, and it'll be mostly him again. But he always contemplated it. He always said that when I can't do it, Panda will be my my backup, and he thought the Raider might be as well. But Raider sort of goes off the grid from time to time. But we'll see. Anyway, sorry about the little tangent, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to talk about.
No, absolutely. And congratulations once again, man. So, like I said, if you haven't checked out his shows, go and check him out. You're missing out, literally. Not just
they're all under the Garden of the Doom, so it's easy to find.
Right, so go check it out. There's no excuses. I just want to say about NXT, how you brought up before, it wasn't a particularly great show. I agree, it wasn't really a particularly great show. And as far as the nostalgic act goes, I mean, sure, we see RVD all the time. Bubba Ray never disappears. Dawn Marie was a shocking one. I mean, I hadn't seen her in years. And Francine, she's still pretty much around, doing her podcasts and whatnot. Is there anyone else I missed out on that I remember? The thing is, it just seemed lazy a little bit. I mean, to call it an ECW show, I don't know, man. I wouldn't call it an ECW show per se. But the point is, whatever AEW is doing is just going down and down. Now, I understand. I get it. And people need to understand this too. The way wrestling is consumed these days is not the same as it used to be. So the ratings don't really reflect, I think, in terms of people actually watching the shows, because everyone's got different ways of watching it these days. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but but the ratings do matter. Well, Jeff disappeared. Wherever Jeff went, hopefully he comes back. But like I was saying, I just feel like the ratings don't really matter like they used to, and I hate arguing the fact about it. You know what I mean? So we'll see. And now, as far as Jeff goes, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm just gonna text him and see if he got NXT this past week, and should AEW be worried? I mean, I'd love to get any of your guys or girls' thoughts. And Gruss, what do you mean by got to save Paul Heyman for the Bloodline? Well, I'm sure he will appear. Just give it time. Maybe at War Games he'll appear and he could be that fifth man. And when I say fifth man, I'm talking about like, you know, the fifth man that gets them over the line by cheering them on. If they get over the line, I've got a feeling they might not even. I don't know. I just feel like it's too soon if they were to win it. And even the storyline to me is a little too soon for my liking. I feel like they could have slowed it down a little bit. But instead, they just want to sort of rush along and see what's going on. But let me just see if everything's all right with Jeff. Just give me a moment. And as far as John is on assignment once again. Hopefully he's back next week. You know, he's been kind of busy. So that's why the times have been all over the place as far as this show goes. Because, you know, I sort of found out last seconds. Hence, I asked Jeff if he wanted to join me. And, you know, we got to wait at a, you know, we can't start at normal times or not. Everybody's available at the usual times. So, yeah. Cold Blooded says, Paul Heyman being there would have been good for at least 50,000 more views or viewers. You also say he was talking about me saying Heyman at NXT would have been a boost. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Actually, that would have been a boost. I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't on NXT, to be fair. I mean, you'd think he would have been. But then again, not that I know Paul Heyman, but going by, you know, just previous interviews and whatnot in the past, I feel like he's kind of sick of maybe talking ECW per se. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's his past now, and he probably, I don't want to say it burns him talking about it, but imagine owning a company and then suddenly not owning that company. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if he's a little bitter about it. But then again, maybe he's not. You know what I mean? But I'm finding it weird that Jeff has totally disappeared. He's not even getting back to me via text. I don't know what the hell's going on, man. But like I said, hopefully he joins us pretty soon. But anyway, let's go and look at some more news while waiting for Jeff. Where were we? Well, apparently WWE have signed Lance Anoa'i. I know a lot of people are expecting Hikuleo, but it seems like we've got Lance Anoa'i. And me personally, I've never been the biggest fan of Lance Anoa'i. I just feel like him, you know, from what I've seen of him over the years, he's kind of bland. He kind of sucks. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, and hopefully he does. But yeah, like I agree with you, Gruss. He kind of sucks, bro. He's not that good, but I'm surprised WWE would sign him. But nevertheless, they have. Cold-Blooded. You're halfway through Todd Gordon's audiobook? Yeah, is it really that good? I mean, you know who else? You should go and check out Jimmy Corderas'. Remember former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas? His book is brilliant, man. You should check that out too. And I think we got Jeff back in the house. So where the hell did you disappear to, man? What happened there?
My internet.
Oh, really? Because I even texted you on Facebook. I'm thinking, geez, you're not even getting back to me there. What, just cut out of nowhere?
Yeah, it's been happening. We've got to do some troubleshooting.
That's weird because usually you got pretty decent internet.
Yeah, no, usually I do have like extremely strong internet. Like I have backup and neither one work. But anyway, that's not important right now. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
And what do you mean? I'm just saying that because his name is Jimmy. Anyway, I was just talking about Lance Anoa'i being signed by WWE reportedly, Jeff.
I'm not sure he's signed by WWE. I just because somebody's there doesn't mean that they were signed.
Well, that's what Fightful report anyway.
Yeah, well, they're usually right. I mean, signed as what? Is he going to be one of the 5-on-5 in Survivor Series, or is he just as a writer, producer, agent? A personality.
Well,
is he going to be the alternative wise man to Paul Heyman? Because, I mean, let's face it, Lance Anoa'i is the Eddie Kingston of the Bloodline.
Yeah, even worse, because he can't even talk. At least Kingston can talk.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
So
Lance
I don't know.
He's just, I hate to say it, useless. But well, this is what it says here. Apparently, he's injured at the moment, though. But in regards to potential Bloodline storyline plans for Anoa'i, it was reported that WWE officials currently do not have any creative plans in place for Lance for their NXT brand, nor main roster. The reason reportedly is due to Anoa'i is currently not expected to be medically cleared for a while, but they do have plans apparently to bring him into the storyline and the Bloodline feud. I don't know if that's a good idea, man.
I don't think it is. I have no interest in Lance Anoa'i as a in-ring performer, or probably on a character. But if he's there as a like a bone to the family, and who I don't pretend to know whether he's a good writer, producer, or agent. He's certainly been in the business in a while, and you know, maybe he's the one who comes up with the idea with tribal councils and the meeting of the five families that we talked about, before. I don't know. We'll see. But if he's injured, then he's obviously not in the Survivor Series. Maybe they'll do a beat down angle, on him, that it's directly attacking Roman's family from Solos. I don't know. Whatever. It's all speculation. But if they say he's signed, I'm sure he's signed. But it's a big company with lots of jobs.
Seems to be a lot of jobs, but I expect a lot of releases too in the coming future, as a matter of fact, in the very near future, but we'll see what happens there. Gruss thinks you might as well bring back Manu as well. No, come on now. let's not bring him back. But I do want to see the old sort of guard get involved. I do want to see Rikishi get involved. You know what I mean? And what's left of the old guard.
I always did. But I'm wanting I'm wanting it less and less at this point.
I totally agree. But every time, look, we'll get into that in a moment. But I just find it interesting. Anyway, look, in other news though, now I don't know. You probably didn't catch Dynamite, right? This past Wednesday.
No, I'm 29 free weeks AEW free.
Well, I'm sure you heard about Malachi Black and apparently him leaving AEW. Have you heard those rumors?
I heard those rumors, and then I heard him say that he's not. And then I saw Brody King had a pretty good tweet saying, it's true, he is leaving. He's starting his traveling cat circus or something. And whatever. We hear nobody knows the status of anyone's contract in AEW and whether or not their contracts are up or not. I mean, Dustin Rhodes' contract ended like a month or two ago, and he's still bumbling around there. I don't know. Anyway, I like Malachi Black. I like Aleister Black. I think he's really good. I think he's been sort of squandered there. But at the same time, I don't know what role there is for him in WWE right now. It seems like they just released a few people, and I'm not saying that you can't have more, but they seem to be very storyline driven, and they seem to only be able to write, for a certain amount of people. So, we already have the Cross Spooky faction. You already have the Wyatt Six Spooky faction. You have Wendy Chu and Tatum Paxley down in NXT being a little spooky. Sometimes Rosemary comes down and she's a little spooky. So, I'm not against it, obviously, but first, I don't know that anything to get excited about. Second, Tony they said he's been banged up a lot of his time there. And so Tony shows that if anyone is interested, that he's going to extend time on the contracts, just like every other wrestling company does, just like the Evil Empire does. So we'll see. It's a rumor. It's interesting, I suppose. He could be back with his wife, but he works one day a week. So what's the difference?
Well, first of all, I don't know if this is all just they're trying to work us and he is leaving. Because if you watch Dynamite, not that I recommend you do, but at the end of his match with Adam Cole, the way he reacts is like a goodbye. It was like he was saying goodbye, right? And then he comes online denying everything, saying, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not injured. I'm cool. I'm just doing whatever, right?
Maybe he's smart. Maybe he knows that if Tony sees that he's intending to leave, then Tony will add the time. Whereas if he just acts like the good soldier and says, "What do you got? What are you talking about? I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing fine. I'm staying right where I am."
Right.
Maybe Tony will just forget about it and his contract will expire, and then he'll go. I mean, the AEW mole who disappeared for a while and then came back said that if Malachi Black is leaving, that's news to me. But then again, he's very good about keeping his thoughts to himself, or he's not exactly open with his thoughts, which is smart. Loose lips sink ships. Ask Phoenix.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, ask Phoenix indeed. And snitches get stitches. Same kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, look, we'll see. I've got a feeling he's going to... Well, it was no secret that he wanted to leave. If you remember, he came out publicly saying after he signed a long-term contract, and if the rumor is true, I believe he signed a 7-year deal.
I don't think anyone signed a 7-year deal. I think all these deals were for a certain amount of time, and then there were additional options, which must be talent options, or maybe they're mutual options. And who knows? Maybe the options have such huge escalators in them that they're unattractive to Tony. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. All we know is that generally speaking, almost everybody is wrong when they talk about any of these things. And the only one that we knew of as being true, everyone thought was a work, and that was Cody.
Hey, I never thought it was a work, by the way. I said that was a shoot, if you remember.
People, I'm sure some of you archive Jimmy's shows, so go to PWC Network and you can send him some of his clips, because I guarantee you he thought it was a work.
What? No, I didn't, dude. No, I freaking did. That was Chris,
I've been doing podcasts with you off and on for a long time now, and I am well aware that on one show you say one thing, another show you say the other thing.
I never said
at least Meltzer says both things in the same sentence.
You're kidding me. I never said that. I said from the start that this shit was a shoot and he wanted to go. You could tell, like, at the time, but it was Chris. Chris was trying to convince me otherwise too at the time by saying, "No, it's a work. He's working us, blah blah." I go, "We'll see what happens." And then he did turn up, but that was like 2-3 years ago now. How long has he been in WWE for now? 3 years, going on to 3.
Cody, yeah, it's been solid. Yeah, he's re-signed also. So yeah, it's probably 3 full years.
That's crazy.
Now I'm texting with PJ.
Now? Unbelievable, man. Time is flying, dude. Oh, tell him what's up. What's he saying?
Well, I'll say Jimmy T says what's up. He'll be like, "Who the fuck is Jimmy T?"
Tell him I said hi.
I will.
Yeah, I know exactly. Well, tell him I said hi anyway.
You know what? After you tell Stevie Richards I say hi, I'll tell him you say hi. Or Stevie Ray. Or Blake Trope, or Silvio, or Al Snow, or any of the numerous others.
I hadn't spoken to Blake. Funny you brought up Troop though, because I hadn't spoken to him in a while, and I reached out to him actually earlier today, just to see how he's doing and shit. Ironically, so it's funny that you brought him out. And Silvio I spoke to about a couple of months ago, and Stevie, I've kept in touch with him. Probably spoke to him 2 weeks ago.
What about Spiro? Everyone wants to know about Spiro.
Oh yeah, no, me and Spiro were talking again. I just haven't done anything since. I've done a couple of Rational Rage shows. He came back. It's funny how word spreads. I don't even say nothing really. And
you told me.
Well, yeah, I told you. But others even found out just by listening to the shows. But see, what does that even get me heat, man?
I don't know why it would get you heat. It's just curious. But I mean, listen, if Don Tony and Kevin Castle can get back together, anyone can.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. But you know what? The difference is, anyway, I won't even go there. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. But I'm talking about KC, for example. But anyway.
Well, you just said you don't want to throw someone over the bus, and then you just threw someone under the bus.
Well, not exactly, because I didn't say anything. So
I know, but you left something hanging there. It might even be worse. Listen, the opinions expressed by Jimmy T represent only Jimmy T and not Channel Attitude High Media Group, the SmackATTACK, and certainly not me.
Doesn't matter. No, I don't think it's good. Yeah. What was I say? Are you excited about Lashley and Hurt Syndicate? Actually, Jeff.
I mean, I love Lashley. I love that people were excited how he was turning everything around for the company for 1 week. Did I watch? No. And then week 2, they lost to NXT. So I mean, what? Listen. Just because I don't watch doesn't mean I'm not on X and wrestling Twitter and whatnot. And it's like another invasion angle or counter insurgency. I mean, it's AEW just seems to be a miasma of a mess, and there's less and less of their hardcore supporters, which is probably about as telling as anything. And some of them are migrating to, I guess, Blue Sky, which I guess is the new Threads or the new Mastodon or whatever. But whatever it is, it's like a new Twitter kind of thing. It's a new social media platform. And so no, I mean, good for them for getting paid, but like I proposed in mockery that MVP should stop trying to recruit wrestlers and he just should try to recruit all of the managers in AEW, because there's about 1,000 of them and none of them are doing anything that makes sense, and they should just form a managerial union and like go on strike.
Speaking
Get
also
Brandon,
of Lashley,
get Stokely Hathaway, get Smart Mark, get Prince Nana. If Maria Kanellis, well, I think she's off the books, but bring back Maria Kanellis for this angle. I mean, all of them. Is Ari Daivari, is he a manager? I don't even know. But look at that. See, Xaney knows about it.
Xaney. Yeah, I know. See, he's already into it. He's always, he's Mr. Social Media, Mr. Xaney.
Listen, I'm thinking about starting an account there. I mean, I never get in near the bottom of anything. So maybe so if I do it, it'll definitely not work out. It'll be a failure. But at least I can say I tried.
Well, I guess, man. Now, is there any other freaking news? Hobbs returned, which is odd. Out of the blue, suddenly he's a babyface.
What's odd about it? They have a faction of big black jacked guys. So of course Hobbs, the faction whore, should be. I know he's booked that way. Of course, he should be recruited and go to another faction. The only problem is he's in a heel faction and he's going to leave a heel faction for another heel faction. Which, of course, there are no heels and faces there, so it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. But yeah, I mean, they shouldn't even try to make a story about it. He just say, you had me at I'm MVP, and just say, Don Callis family, bye. I don't see anyone here who looks like me. See ya. Peace out, losers.
Spaceman. Yeah, peace out. Says Canada Spaceman says, have you heard this new heavy song? It's called Yellow Submarine.
I guess he's joking that the Blue Sky isn't all that new. Maybe, I don't know. I just heard of it.
Zane says, I botched the spot on getting in on the ground floor of Twitter. Okay, Zane.
Listen, I botched the spot on getting in early on everything except one thing, and I sold it. Okay, I bought prepaid legal stock in 1994 for like $12 or something, and I sold it at $17.50, and I was so proud of myself. Wow. Like 5 years later, it was like $100 a share.
Damn. Interesting, very nice. Well, you are a doctor, after all. So
I'm a dumbass, is what I am. Listen, I am good for everybody else. The only person I'm no good for is myself.
Oh, nice. It's true.
I can turn your shit into gold. Me, no, can't do a thing for myself.
I feel the same way about myself, but that's funny that you say that. But anyway, did you hear about? I don't know what to think of this, but apparently Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes, reportedly have taken indefinite leave of absences from WWE. What's your take on this?
I have no take. I mean, it was reported as it is nothing to do with the Vince McMahon litigation, which was interesting that was reported, because that was the first, that'd be the first thing that a cynic would think to. But I mean, Bruce Pritchard recently revealed that his wife was fighting cancer for 24 years, and you always have to worry about that. Both of these men are in their 60s or 70s. There could be all sorts of reason. And I mean, is it completely unusual that they might give people time off when half the wrestlers are off now. I mean, they're going to be coasting into the Royal Rumble. So if people need to recharge or, do whatever, or maybe it is, maybe it is Triple H is trying to bring in his guys and get rid of Vince guys. It could be any of it, but whatever. I mean, none of the above would surprise me.
Well, funny you bring that up because it's a good segue, and then we'll get into SmackDown after this bit of news. Our very own Bin Hamin, Yallah, to the Ayatollah himself, has been saying and has been going around on the on the dirt sheets. As a matter of fact, funny enough, he's been getting quoted about he thinks Triple H and Vince Russo also thinks the same thing. Shout out to Vince Russo also of channelattitude.com and the brand. They think that Triple H will be gone by 2025. And they claim that and look, I know we work for both of them. Well, I do, but but doesn't mean we have to agree with them. So what I'm saying is, I totally disagree with them.
I disagree too.
Both of them, but yeah, I don't see. But they're adamant about it too.
Why would they?
Because of Vince McMahon. Because of they want everyone, of the last Vince. Any remnants of Vince McMahon left, they want him out.
Except that Ari Emanuel just had lunch with Vince McMahon. I mean,
I saw that a couple of weeks ago or something like that.
I mean, if they wanted that, why would Triple H be on every goddamn television show and every PLE? Plus, he's doing a pretty good job. Now, I'm not exactly thrilled. I think they're sleepwalking a little bit. I've been a little bit bored with shit, but they're breaking records with every gate. They're charging ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, people are paying more to go to like C-level PLEs than I paid to go to see Bruce Springsteen, for God's sake.
Well, get this, right?
I mean, like last month, not like in 1981.
Well, get this. It gets even more conspiracy theory-ish here. According to Vince Russo, he thinks that The Rock is going to be the one that kind of replaces Triple H, but not him in that role. Basically, Triple H is going to bring Gerwitz into the Triple H role, apparently, and that's the end game.
All right. And then Jennifer Popperman takes over AEW, and then Gerwitz and Popperman marry each other, and they take over all of wrestling, and it's all been that long game all along. Then Jon Snow marries Khaleesi. Got it. All right. Okay. Listen. These networks started with the Conspiracy Horsemen, so good job, fellas.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So good job. But I think you're just reaching things for talk about and get headlines. I had when things aren't broken, why fix them?
Exactly. That's exactly the quote. Like I would have said too. Why would you like? And I just don't see. There doesn't seem to be any danger of Triple H actually losing his spot. I don't see it in him. I don't see him being worried. But they keep saying it, man. Both of them, Bin and Vince Russo, keep going on about this, man. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Look,
why would they get rid of the McMahons? Linda McMahon is going to be one of the most powerful people in the country for the next 4 years, and there's a reasonable chance for the rest of our lives because there's a Don Jr., there's an Eric, there's an Ivanka. Baron is going to age after he'll be old enough by if they each do 2 terms. What's that? 24 years. So all right, so Baron will be there. I mean, Jared Kushner, maybe if a Jew is both a Nazi and an android, that he can get elected. So we've got even more. So hey, Linda McMahon, who obviously is going to live to be 497 years old, is going to be one of the most powerful people in the world. Why would they get rid of her son-in-law, who's doing a great job?
I agree with you. Well, Zayn apparently thinks that I'm getting worked. Getting worked by whom?
In fairness, you're not believing what they're saying, so you're just reporting what they've said. So you're not actually getting. Listen, I don't like to defend you. I like to attack you, but I don't think you're getting work.
Thanks. No, I agree. So I don't know why he says that. And Grass agrees because he said fake news, and then Zayn says can't have any stooges and retreads. I was going to say something else. I thought he was going
You sure can.
But lucky
Then
I looked up
explain
twice.
Jamie Noble. So,
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, anyway, that was pretty much all the main news that that's happened during the week.
fine.
Everything else. Oh, Sonic the Hedge Rat is in the house. Howdy, everyone. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Yeah, there is something else. Whose physique is better, Nunzio's or Adam Cole's? Because I'm going with Nunzio.
Little Guido by a mile, dude. Come on now. Are you kidding? Look, he looks his age. He looked old, sort of thing. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And how old is
I
he
thought the
now?
whole
I
thing
think,
was embarrassing. But when I
dude,
saw
I
him on
thought
the
you were
ground,
older than him,
yeah, I'm older than him. He's 52.
and you
But
look
I'm
younger
looking
than
at him
him.
going, still in better shape than Adam Cole.
He actually is. Why doesn't Cole just hit the weights, man? Like,
Well,
what's he waiting
why does
for,
he
man?
need to? He's
I
probably
guess.
getting paid
I'm not
$3
talking-
million a year, whether he's injured or not, to not. Todd Bradley's back. Here
Todd
you go.
Bradley, the comment king's in his house. What's going on, Todd? Thank you for joining us, man.
Talk about Game of Thrones. The king is here.
The king is here. Adam Coleslaw, man, more like
Vegan,
Islaw.
organic, no GMOs, no mayonnaise-based coleslaw.
Yeah, yuck.
Exactly.
Adam Coleslaw. I don't mind coleslaw, but now you ruined it for me, Grass. God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the SmackATTACK, shall we,
Sure.
Jeff?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because we see Roman and Big Jim Uso make the entrance and throw their ones up together on the stage before heading into the ring. Roman lifts the microphone to his mouth and then enter main event Jey Uso. Everyone's yeeting off their heads. He gets in the ring and asks his brother and cousin to just give him a chance. But then we hear Sami Zayn's music. He comes out next. He starts off by saying the haluva kick at Crown Jewel was not on purpose, but the only reason why he showed up there was for Jay. He'd like to say that the only reason he's here tonight is because Jay asked him, but that's not true. It's been a long time since he and Reigns have been in the ring together, and he thought of all the stuff he'd say and do if they shared a ring again. But when it was the four of them again for just a minute, it was special. It took him back to a very special time in his career and his life, a special time with family, even with everything that happened. He always have a soft spot for that time in the bloodline, and he knows full well that Jay felt it, and he thinks Jimmy felt it, and he's pretty sure Roman did too because he's still standing here listening to him. He goes on to say people think the opposite of love is hate, but indeed it's not. The opposite of love is indifference, and he doesn't think Reigns is indifferent to him. He thinks Roman loves him. He sees a smirk in the corner of Roman's lip and says, it's still there, and it could be like that again, and they could run all of that back and tell you what, he's going to put that ball in Reigns' court. If you want him to turn around and leave and never be part of the bloodline business again.
Whose ball?
Sami,
What? He's
Sami
doing what
will
with Colin?
indeed do
He's
that,
what on the
but he
Colin
doesn't
Y
think
song
that-
is he doing?
Roman's ball.
Okay.
Roman's ball is
Got
in his
it.
court.
Mhm.
But anyway, he doesn't think that's what Roman wants. He thinks he wants the four of them fighting together, side by side, and then a very little smile plays across Reigns' face before Zayn tells him he just needs him to do one thing for him, and that's apologize. Roman asks if he's got it straight. Sami wants him to apologize to him. Zayn says no, the apology isn't for him. He wants to apologize to Jay, as Ray turns to Jay and takes a long beat before raising the microphone to his mouth and says he's sorry. But he goes on to say he's sorry that he ever let Jay waste his time with his shit. Sami isn't family. It ain't about him. It's about Solo Sikoa, who he calls down to the ring. Zayn takes a moment to chat with Jay before leaving. And then next we see the Samoan werewolf in Jacob Fatu appearing on the Trying to Cut a promo. He calls Roman stupid and says there's the tribal chief and everybody else. And Solo is tribal chief. So Reigns is everybody else. And he's to the back of the line. And Sikoa will come out when he damn well pleases. And Roman will acknowledge that. That was a bit of a long segment, but there it is. What do you think? Did you like it? Have we seen this before? Is it a repeat? I mean, what do you think anyway?
I mean, it's a little bit of a repeat, and they're definitely prolonging some of this. It was basically 11 and a half minutes before anything of substance was even started. I think it took, almost to the 20-minute mark before it ended. This was a really good 5-minute segment. It just took way too long. But I thought that Sammy's line was okay. He sort of stumbled over his words a little bit. Roman is being too obstinate. He's already agreed, to Jay's terms, and now he's forgotten it. And Jimmy's even reminding him, so at least they're not all being, forgot yesterday. But they had to address the story of, whether Sammy kicked him on purpose. I mean, I don't know why Sammy's not asking him, did you, Superman punch me on purpose? Because they both hit each other's moves at the same time. Right. It was good to hear Jacob Fatu speak. I mean, those of you who didn't watch MLW, this might be your first taste of him cutting a promo. And he can cut a good promo. He sounds like a badass, and everything he said was cool. And the new bloodline, everyone's like, they don't have the cool factor. They're just supposed to be bad guys. They're supposed to. It's like, Darth Vader didn't always have the cool factor either. You weren't supposed to cheer when the Praetorian Guard came in. I think they're fine as heels. Solo, he's hit or miss on the mic, but I thought it was good. It just took way too long, and I'm going to try not to do it to our audience right now by me saying the same thing 3 times.
Nah, you're all right, Jeff. You're good, man. I love how you say that. You're always wary about it, but you always bring it up. No, look, it was a great segment. My problem is, and I've said this already the last couple of weeks, I just feel like, are they rushing a little bit? I know they have to because of Survivor Series, right? But was it the right time to be... Like, I just feel like there's a few gaps in this sort of group getting back together. If it was up to me, come Survivor Series, I wouldn't even have the OG Bloodline win the match for storyline purposes. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you kind of have to, because they lost, at Crown Jewel or whenever it was.
But see, they have to win, and then it just so suddenly we're gonna have Roman, your tribal chief again, and all these roses.
Or if they're going to lose, maybe it's because there's another invasion. But just how many people do you want in this? I mean, they did get to an interesting part later on when they're talking about 5-on-5, and we'll cover that in the bookends segment at the end. But I don't know that they're. I mean, you're saying they're going too fast. I'm saying they're going too slow. So I think they're going too slow. It's like, but obviously they have it scripted out, so they're going at their pace. And when they get to the cinema, we'll hopefully we'll look back in the past and like we have in the past and said, wow, it was dragging while I was watching it, but boy, did it pay off. And hopefully we'll get that again. I mean, people have pointed out Paul Heyman's not back yet. I know some people think Hikuleo is going to be involved. I mean, maybe sending him to NXT was a ruse. I don't know. He can't be worse than Tonga Loa has been. I mean, or can he?
Jeez, I think he can be worse.
He can be. Yeah. There's always worse.
There's always worse.
It is. Yeah.
Josh, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us, dude.
Hey, and thanks for following me on both accounts. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah. He's been actually tagging us in a lot of stuff. Keep it coming, Josh, man. It's very much appreciated. Gruss thinks that Roman Reigns is still a douche. He kind of is. Let's be honest.
He's acting a little douche canoe. You're right.
Douche canoe. Sonic thinks that Sammy just saying words because they go together in a sentence. That's funny. Cole thinks that something about Jacob Fatu makes me believe every word he says. Absolutely, man. The way he delivers it, I think he's a great talker. And I think very underrated because, like you said earlier, Jeff, in MLW, he's got some killer promos. Actually, I don't know. I saw an exchange between Enzo Amore and Jacob Fatu when they had a little feud, and Enzo went hard on him, dude. I mean, I was like, shit.
For the 10 weeks that Enzo managed to stay employed, which means 1 taping. Wow. Maybe 2.
Is he still part of MLW now?
No, they got rid of him after 1 arc.
Damn.
As a matter of fact, they dropped him mid-angle. I don't even think he either didn't make it to the 2nd taping or the 3rd taping. But yeah, Jake.
I think
and here's the thing about Jacob Fatu, and we were talking about for years with Drew McIntyre. We talked about it with Hangman Page. That that the thing they were missing was authenticity. And Drew found it. I don't know about Hangman, to be honest. I've seen some of it, but I haven't seen it for 29 weeks.
Backwards. Yeah, I feel
like I believe you. But Jacob Fatu has authenticity. There's some people that just exude malice. Brock Lesnar exudes malice. Chris Benoit exuded malice. Jacob Fatu exudes malice. The Steiners exuded malice. The Road Warriors exuded malice. Some people they don't need to do all that much because they're just channeling something in them that works. In the wrestling world, and Jacob Fatu just he's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it. But he has all the other it too. He's big enough. He's ridiculously agile. He's scary looking. And he knows it, and he knows how to leverage all of that and put it together. And he can talk.
I love when he screams out, "I love you, Solo!"
And I love how spittle flies out of his mouth. He doesn't feel produced, but he is being produced. It's for sure. That's the authenticity, and he doesn't need to dig down to get it. That it's just natural in him, and it's great when you see it click with the wrestler where it wasn't for a while, like Sheamus. He like at age 43 or 44, all of a sudden something started working for him.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, but Jacob's got it.
Yeah. Jeff, I dare say he's the best talker out of all the Samoans other than The Rock on the mic right now, dude. Even better than Roman.
Well, I mean, Roman has such a defined character.
He's polarizing. That's the difference. He's got just that it factor about him, that aura, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but which came first? I mean, he had like zero aura for like 7 years.
As champion too, that he had to work on somehow, if you can even work on that. And I mean, really, it's only been the last since the Bloodline storyline started, is when that aura started for him. I feel anyway.
When he came back to SummerSlam and beat up Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, that's when it started for me.
Oh, interesting. Well, yeah, for me, I feel like all the beginning of the Bloodline storyline. Josh thinks the wise man is needed to keep them in sync.
Of course.
That's why I can see him losing.
Speaking of in sync, it's time for our musical number.
Yeah, true. Sonic thinks, of course, Sammy kicked Roman on purpose. Sammy has never kicked anyone in the back of the head with that move.
My goodness.
Well, there's a bit of a discussion here. I mean, everyone. No, come on, Grass. Jacob Fatu reminds you of Yokozuna.
Okay.
Come on, dude.
You're on shadow ban. You're on probation.
Yeah. Todd says Dave Meltzer exudes stupidity and hypocrisy. We spoke about that at the start of the show, Todd.
And Asperger's syndrome as well.
He's probably got more than that too. But yeah, he does. I think he would have Asperger's syndrome, dude. He's under that spectrum in a way when you think about it. But anyway, check out the start of the show whenever you do, Todd. We talk about it there because he's running amok on Twitter right now. But anyway, let's get back, though, to SmackDown because we do see the original Bloodliner walking backstage, and Jey Uso grabs Roman Reigns by the arm and tells him he just wanted him to hear Sami Zayn out. Roman tells him if he loves Sami so much, he can go and find him. And Jey tells him he told him it wasn't going to be like this, and this is his one pass. Jimmy then tries to argue Jay's side, and Roman gets mad at him too and tells him to go find his brother. Why is Roman having a little, bitch sort of whining like a little crybaby? Like
old habits die hard.
Accept it. I guess.
Very prideful.
That's what I mean.
He's a prideful man.
Very prideful. But he's not that prideful, but you know what I mean. He's very prideful. Absolutely. But that leads us to the first matchup of the evening, Jeff. And that is Bayley versus Candice LeRae. And honestly, I couldn't care less about this match.
Well, you know who else couldn't care less about this match? The 13,000 people in the arena. Bayley got zero reaction. Candice got zero reaction. Nobody cared about either of them. You'd think that Bayley was a random call up from NXT to nowhere, like they randomly put like Carly Bright or Brinley Reese up or something.
Sonic is funny, man. He says he likes Asperger's too. Also, uh, Sonic, you're a character, man.
I think we found the replacement.
Yeah, we did for sure. Cold Blooded thinks he just needs a Snickers, and I'm assuming he's talking about Roman. And Canada Spaceman says, and now Sonic ruined it for me to make a real burger for dinner. Thanks, pal. Ass burgers, bro. Anyway, that's so good. Let's get back to the wrestling though. Yeah, like I said, man. I just didn't care. I wasn't interested. You weren't. 13,000 in Buffalo, New York didn't care. And Candice LeRae still having a job blows my mind. She needs to get the hell out of here. I can't stand her on my television. She doesn't even look like a pro wrestler. She just looks like I don't know, dude. She just can't stand her, man. But anyway, Bayley does win by pinfall with via a Rana.
Well, the story is that Candice tried to cheat again and make Bayley think that her knee was injured, like she did before, and sneak another win. But Bayley was onto her and then reversed it and snuck out a win. Reason minds can differ whether Bayley should have to sneak out a win on Candice LeRae, but it's sort of to the bigger story that Candice LeRae is sort of competing with Tiffany Stratton for Nia's attentions and affections, seeing who can deal with Bayley, even though it's Naomi that has a title shot against Nia. So a little convoluted there as to who their target is, but I get it. The Bayley Naomi alliance, soon to be broken up, is one other thing, but I don't know. Bayley, for someone who's got a lot of goodwill with the WWE universe, it's like it's all deflated. It's like I would say she needs to go away for a while, but she was gone for a year.
She's gotten comfortable. That's what it is. I think she's just, I don't want to say happy. Maybe she's happy with her position and just doesn't care, bro. That's what it comes across to me. She's just sitting there doing her thing, and that's it. Not really being defiant about anything. Not really pitching about anything. Just being a team player, I guess. But she's just so bland right now. And is it just me or she's giving me heel vibes?
What does she need to be a team player about? I mean, she had tag team gold for a while, and then she was the world champion for 7 months. I mean,
they still reward her. Absolutely.
What more does she need? I mean, I assume that she's going to be someone in contendership for the the women's U.S. title, which I'm sure we'll get to soon. But obviously the first person who's going to get it is a face, and they probably wanted. I mean, they probably wanted to give it to someone who's semi-established, and her and Naomi seem like obvious picks. I mean, I would probably give it to Mi Chin just as a just to remind us that she's there and make her in something that's important. But yeah, I mean, no one cared about this match. The crowd was silent, and all I could say is that it was relatively short.
It was. Zayn claims that Candice is advocated by himself, and she isn't going nowhere.
Well, they released her friend, but her husband is still there, which, oh my God, we're going to get to him soon.
Todd says Zayn sounds about right. Bayley needs a hug according to Cold Blooded. And Zayn's saying, what are you implying, Todd? You know what he's implying, Zayn. Stop playing dumb. All right. Josh says, I think Bayley will be the first US... Oh, God, no.
I just said it, so I mean...
Yeah, no, more than likely. Or could it be...
Oh, please, no.
Yes. I can see
I think Natty's on Raw, and this seems like it's a SmackDown thing. Now, I think Monday they'll probably announce a Women's Intercontinental Championship for Raw, so...
That's what everybody's yapping about, but we'll see. Cold Blooded thinks that Tiffy will cash in for the Women's US... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, Nia will try to sell her on that like she was trying to sell her on cashing in on Liv, but Tiffy, Tiffy's not going to do that. Tiffy don't play that.
But maybe is she playing the dumb character? She talks like that.
She's playing the dumb character, but Daddy sent her to the best finishing schools.
That's true. That's a fact. That's actually a fact. I like what Todd says, though. That's why he's the comment king. Should be Chelsea Green. I totally agree with that.
Well, she's also on Raw, I think, because she's in a tag team, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, I would love for it to be Chelsea Green. The thing is that both women's world champions are heels. So I'm thinking the mid card will be a face, but it doesn't have to be. So yeah, I would love to see Chelsea. What might be interesting would be if Piper wins it, and then Chelsea is trying to connive against her.
They can go all sorts of ways, man. We'll see. I mean,
Like,
what's
remember
your
when
what was
Otis
your,
had a title, and somebody was trying to convince him to give it to him or whatever, or maybe it was the Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, I think it was. Did he win a Money in the Bank at one
He
stage?
did, and then the Miz won it in court for reasons.
How dumb. So why did they give him the damn thing in the first place? I sort of don't
I have
understand when they
no
do this shit.
effing idea.
Drives me nuts, man. Just
Yeah.
like Damien Sandow. Remember when he was hotter than hot at this point?
I
They
do.
give him the Money in the Bank and then they buried him.
You know what I remember? Damien Sandow / Aaron Idol. He was my first guest on.
He was.
Garden of Doom presents the Book of Black. Episode 1 with Aaron Idol.
It's true. Go check it out. Like I was saying before, he actually was. Yeah, Aaron Idol, another professional wrestler. There you go. Who I haven't heard of in a quite a while. Is he in NWA right now?
Well, yeah, that's Damien Sandow. That's but he is he's the manager for Blunt Force Trauma, which are, to my knowledge, are still the NWA Tag Team Champions.
Is he still the main booker there?
I think he's the booker for UWN. I think Billy Corgan is the main booker.
Okay.
I think Billy Corgan is very much the Tony Khan over there.
If they, I just want to say quickly on NWA, if this is not the beginning of the end now, they got no television.
They're on X exclusively now.
That's bad to me, dude. I mean,
it's so stubborn. Just go on YouTube. I mean, just put the shit back on YouTube.
Why won't they go on YouTube though? What's the problem?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with these folks.
It's weird, man. Hey, the king of 2K24's in the house, Mr. Eden Ben Shlomo. I hope you're keeping safe with everything. And he says that's an insult to Billy. Please.
It's just position to position. It's not like comparing their personalities or anything.
No.
Anyway, I mean, listen. He might be criticizing that comment, but I don't think he's watching NWA, and I don't think that he can tell you what the booking is. I can tell you that NWA they have like 30 independent promotions that they are calling their territories now, affiliated territories. So okay, Aaron, please type out any story that is going on with NWA that you can refer us to, because I don't know a single one. I saw Haley J and Kenzie Page going at it a little bit.
Yeah, because trust me, if you find them compelling, wow. But anyway,
I like Haley J. I think, and Kenzie Page, for a little girl, she's got a lot of attitude, but I mean, but they're minor league version of major league wrestlers. Knox and Murdoch are the tag team champions now. Okay, boy, that's new and fresh.
Boys? Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, especially Murdoch. Yeah, man, they need to freshen up their roster too with some actual decent names. They've stayed with the same shit for way too long, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Well, they just lost the CW app before, and they lost the network. Like the money where they were going to sign people. And Billy Corgan is signing people to NWA exclusive contracts, which I assume that still means they can go other places. I don't know if it's just these, maybe that's why they have 30 affiliate territories, because they allow NWA wrestlers to go there so they can still work the indies, but still be exclusive to NWA. I mean, that's probably more to do with anything else. I guess maybe NWA has reduced its referral fee or whatever from like the 15% down to 7.5%, or I'm guessing, but I don't know. I would love to find these things out. These are the things that, by the way, WrestleNomics should look into, but they don't. They're busy covering legal cases, which is fine and dandy, but why don't you cover some nomics?
Right, but yeah, exactly.
Whoa. I will not tolerate Haley J slander here. She's a lovely woman. I met her at the Maryland Championship Wrestling, and I asked her how much she would charge to cut a promo. She's like, $5. I gave her 20. I'm like, thank you.
Isn't that Hollywood, Haley J? Oh, it is Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, the bougie, what does she call herself? The ghetto bougie or something?
Yeah, the one from OVW, man. Like
Yeah,
she's from OVW.
she's
She's
a
cool,
cute little
man.
girl. She did the promo. She botched one of it and she started laughing herself. So she's very human. She's very young. She gave
And
me a
she's
hug, and even
relatable.
Viv didn't get jealous about it because it's like
Wow. Viv
she's
didn't get jealous.
she's like a 19-year-old girl or something. It's like hugging your daughter. It's like
And you just be like, yeah, exactly.
no, I like only like a half hug because A, I'm married to a Latina. B, it's like I shouldn't be hugging 20-year-olds I'm not related to. It's like
Oh shit. Zane says Bugetto.
Bujetta. That you know what? You trademark that, Zany.
Exani. Vicios. Canada
Exani
Spaceman.
the Bugetto Brainy.
Yeah, it sounds very Italiano, but like as a last name,
Buschetta
Buscetta.
Bugetto.
Yeah. Or the Buscetta is also like a food. But anyway, Canada Spaceman says, I like Hollywood Hailey J. The reason I started following OVW in the first place, she's good, man. She's all
Wait,
right.
how do you cover the news without talking about the WWID program and the
We
people
spoke
that
about that
they?
last week on other shows, that's why. But
But
we
they
know
didn't
enough
name
of it. Let's
anyone
get
until
into
this
that.
week.
Well, actually, let's get into that quickly because there was a couple of questions I'm a bit confused about with
We're all
this ID
confused.
thing. See, I was reading just before about certain wrestlers now are WWE ID certified. What does that even mean?
I have no idea. I assume that they give them a little bit of money, sort of like a Legends contract. They have access to the Performance Center. Maybe they'll work as enhancement talent. People are saying that it's giving WWE right of first refusal. We don't know. People are just making stuff up. I mean, when they have to do their quarterly report, maybe someone will ask and maybe they'll answer that question. But I don't know. We'll find out. But like Zeta Steel got signed. Someone named Brock Donovan or Bryce Donovan. He sort of looks like a young Damian Priest. Cappuccino Jones, a guy named like JC Nelson, who sort of looks like a young LA Knight with a porn stash. Cartwheel, whoever that Jack Cartwheel, he got named. Oh my God, there were some other. I'm forgetting some names. There were 2 other female wrestlers at least. But
yeah, I saw that.
all I can tell you is that, like, the IWC is like, oh, the monopolized. Who doesn't think it's terrible? The wrestlers themselves. And a little secret, I'm in the group chat. I'm not going to tell you the promotion, but you've all heard of it. It was much bigger 20 years ago than it is now. But they were but one of the people that works for them, with them routinely, got signed, and they were all thrilled for him or her. Because I don't know if I'm supposed to let people know that I'm involved with them or not.
You said no promotion from 20 years ago?
But they were all they were. It's like they got drafted to the NFL. They were thrilled for this person. So the people who are indie wrestlers, they don't think this is a bad thing. They think this is a great thing. And by the way, so did the promoter too. They like support him or her wherever they go. Make sure that you fly your colors and let them know that he or she came from us, and watch everything he or she does. Let's keep this going.
Well, Josh thinks, is this about the WWE IDs? Is this the modern day twist to the territorial days? No, because I don't see it that way. It's about the wrestlers being ID'd, not really the promotions. Oh, and the promotions, actually. There is some sort of to it. But it seems like a franchise. Doesn't it come across, as far as I gather, it's kind of like a franchise, like having the WWE stamp on your indie promotion.
Yeah.
But it's still under their name, but with the WWE stamp on it.
I think it's that. And I think it's also that it's easier to have these folks develop without any obligation to WWE, but to be identified to join NXT, and they don't have to like start, from the PC, or at least, it's like that first 6 months where people have to learn the basics. They already know that. And then it's just the next 6 months and they train, and there might be some people who are TV ready, almost immediately. And let's be honest. I mean, NXT, when it comes to the women, it's an embarrassment of riches. But when it comes to the men, I mean, and I actually mean this. I think that Ridge Holland finally may have found himself and may have found that authenticity, like just in the last 2 weeks. and good for him because I've been a big doubter. But like they need people like Ethan Page and Sean Spears to like hold shit together, and and Trick Williams isn't going to be there much longer, and like Josh Briggs is sort of a trainer, and the Gallus boys, everyone knows that they're really trainers, they're coaches, they're not really on-screen talent for the most part, and so they need an infusion of male talent, and I think people don't realize the amount of goodwill that WWE actually has on the indies. I've learned sort of through back channels and through PJ, but through the other guests and through people I've met through them, how much money WWE spreads around for things that you wouldn't have thought about to indie talents. And part of it's just so they don't have to bother their own people with it, like video game, moves and shit like that. But this is spreading more goodwill in the indies and the wrestling community. So if you think there's some long game to become a monopoly or whatever, okay. But I mean, it's wrestling. There's never going to be a monopoly, and everyone's like, the indies are thriving. I know a bunch of indie promoters, and none of them say they're thriving. And even the ones that run a show a month, they're like, we ain't in it for the money. Don't think that we are.
Now, usually they're marketards themselves anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I just talked to a rabbi, a Chicago rabbi, who's also a wrestling promoter. He's friends with Cole Caban and all that. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. And he's like, yeah, I don't do it for the money, believe me.
Well, what's it called? The king of 2K24 says the problem is that OVW is not there, but I'll say yet. Exactly.
I mean, that show is on Netflix. WWE is on Netflix. Maybe they're waiting for a strategic announcement to be dramatic on TV for it to be announced, and they're holding back.
Yeah, no, I think unless it's some sort of bad sort of breakup that we're not aware of.
Isn't Al Snow buddies with Russo and crew? Wouldn't they know if there was a bad breakup? I watched the wrestlers. There was plenty of chances for Al Snow to shit on WWE, and he never did. So even if there was a bad breakup, he's smart enough to know that he's better off with them than without them.
He didn't even really shit on AEW either. He did kind of here and there, but not really.
He doesn't shit on anyone in the business. He knows that all business is helpful for his business, getting his people on AEW. He gave them a lecture on how to behave themselves and how to act backstage, and basically he gave the opposite advice of the Jack Perry, Adam Pages who refused to. It's like, do what you're told, be quiet, go where they tell you to go, don't go crazy on catering. I mean, he gave them like a whole speech, like if you're college freshmen or your high school seniors going on a tour of college, for the first time. And your parents tell you how to behave.
No, absolutely. Also, everyone thinks who made more stars than them. Look, that's a bit. Yes, no. It's true, but at the same time, it was WWE's people that, also trained them there.
I think he means WWE. I think
he's talking about OVW. No.
No,
look, he said he's talking about the problem is that OVW's not there. Then he said, "Who made more stars than them?"
He's talking. Yeah, but that's a different OVW.
Yeah, it's very much WWE still. Don't get it twisted. It was WWE that identified these guys first.
Yeah.
And put them through OVW just to train.
I mean, OVW and FCW were basically NXT back then. I mean,
right.
This OVW, I mean, it's owned by a Louisville sports radio jock and personality and a local car dealer, like some business people. Al Snow is an employee.
Oh no, he's part owner as well. Actually, Al Snow.
I don't think so.
He is. He does. He's got ownership too in there. But not number one.
You said that with that knowing smile, like I know something you don't know.
No, he is. He really is.
Now, I'll trust you when I get my remix of "You Sexy Thing" by
That's a hard song to fucking do, man. I'm not gonna lie.
My 1 year anniversary was a week ago.
Wow. Already. Wait, 1 year anniversary of marriage?
Yep.
Has it been a year already?
It's been a year already. And by the way, everyone, I turned
Congratulations,
56
by the way.
on Monday, Veterans Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. You're a Scorpio, aren't you?
Sure as fuck am.
Typical. If only you got it on your arm.
Yeah.
Or your shoulder.
This is not working. So.
You're gonna end up ripping it.
That's right. I can't lift the shirt up because my muscles are too big.
He's got tattoos, believe it or not, peeps. And Zane, you brought up copyright. You need to do some copyright shit. You know what? He might be your man. He knows a thing or two about copyright things when it comes to,
I think he means
courts and all that.
trademark anyway.
Same thing. Aren't you good at that anyway? The trademark stuff?
Oh, yeah. Listen, trademarks are
That's the
generally
thing.
more important than copyrights anyway. I mean, unless you've actually written them like something that's going to sell.
No, absolutely. And everyone's congratulating you, by the way.
Thank you.
Congrats to Jeff and his wife. Happy anniversary. And Cold Blooded also. Congratulations. I can't believe it's been a year, dude. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
I can't believe anyone else married me.
You're one lucky man, actually.
I really
I'm sure you really are. No, you really are. La Sacaria is.
Thank you, Baphomet.
Don't throw me off like that, Baphomet, for fuck's sake, Jeff. Anyway.
Hail Marduk.
Let's get back to SmackDown, shall we?
Yeah.
Man, off already. Backstage, we go backstage where we see the Motor City Machine Guns are warming up when Johnny Gargano then rolls
and they're
up.
approached by Andre the Giant. Oh no, it was Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano looked huge next to these two midgets.
Dude. Actually, before I go on, is this an issue in your eyes that the Motor City Machine? Like, I've seen arguing online that maybe WWE should change their camera angles for them, particularly. Maybe they should zoom in a bit more for them, because they look tiny, man.
They look like children next to Johnny Gargano. They look small, and he's ridiculous. This is absurd, and Johnny Gargano is basically congratulating, like being happy with him, and he's like 5'5" and he's like an inch taller than them, and with his hair sticking up, he's like 3 inches taller than them. But like even his arms look bigger than it. Johnny Gargano shouldn't be bigger than anybody. These guys look like children. I mean, children in great shape, but they look like children.
Fuck. And they're older than all these guys. They're in their 40s, dude.
No, they look like like those bros, like those vegan bros that play soccer, hacky sack, and flag frisbee in the park. They don't look like pro wrestlers. And you know who agrees with me? The crowd, because nobody gives a shit about them. It's like Triple H. It's like everyone loves the Motor City Machine Guns, and they really should have gone to NXT so that at least like a third of the WWE crowd would have any idea who they are, as opposed to like 3%.
And their song sucks too, man. They should have somehow done some sort of similar version of their original Motor City Machine.
Their song would be just fine if they were like 6'2" and 6'3.5".
Yeah, I agree with Zane here. Chris Sabin needs to get back to being a pig pen. He's just a dirty fucking. I just don't like.
He even has a kid's haircut. He has the same haircut I had from like my elementary school photos. And I'll show you.
Gruss thinks that they had some Adam Coleslaw.
They need to eat some Adam Coleslaw. They might be on the same diet as. They're on the same diet as Orange Cassidy and Matt Sydal, and
they've got a decent body at least for skinny.
Darby Allin, yeah, no, I mean Adam Cole is worse than that.
Yeah, no, but MCMG, it just. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of surreal for me that the fact that they actually gave him the bounce that quick and just bang, take him, and they beat the Bloodline no less. I know it was a lot of shenanigans, but it doesn't matter. That made him look like a big deal, and the crowd still don't give a shit.
Not even a little. Thank you, world. I was right once again.
Well, I mean, why? Well, people were arguing the fact that people were making a big deal over him.
Yes. Yeah. People are like, Levels, what a great signing. Oh, they shouldn't be in NXT. They should go right to the main roster. Push them to the moon. There's big stars. They're not. Nobody cares.
First of
I'm
all,
sure they're lovely people. I'm sure they're great guys, terrific storied indie careers, but they look like minor league wrestlers.
And they're 15 years too late. It's not even the peak version of these guys.
But you know what? Good for them to get the big money so that they can retire, and hopefully they'll save it, and so they won't be in the position of like Dutch Mantel is now, and that Chris Bay is in now, and things like that. So hopefully they get the big money and they invested well. Good for them on that. I'm not shitting on them as people. It's just they look like indie minor league wrestlers. They don't look like major league. I understand that they're very crisp and precise and all that. Guess what? They had MSK here. They had MSK. They were younger versions of the Motor City Machine Guns. They had a team called Imperium that they broke up. That were bigger and just as good. I mean, whatever. I don't want to rant that much, but as long as this leads to Ciampa betraying Gargano, that's fine. But I don't want to see Ciampa and Gargano feud. I want to see Ciampa kill Gargano. Not really, but kill him off TV, like, sort of like Tony D'Angelo's family. You just put him in a trunk over the river, you don't see him again, and then they show up in AEW in 90 days.
Whatever happened to the one that was in the AEW?
Well, I don't know. He was in Maria Kanellis's like MILF faction in Ring of Honor, I'm told, but I'm sure he's still there because everyone stays in AEW, and whenever they release a handful of people, they seem to bring them back. Like Anthony Henry was brought back, the Butcher and the Blade were brought back. I mean, nothing lasts there. So I mean, except continued employment.
Well, Gruss thinks that the TNA team we wanted was Beer Money. At their peak, I would have loved that. But
I still wouldn't mind seeing Cowboy James Storm just get one try. Just get a try.
Well, he was on NXT a couple of times, if you remember, years ago.
I know. I think he has some sort of career that I think he doesn't. I think he wants to focus on that.
Okay, I don't know what that career is, but whatever it is, I'm sure
I think he might be a realtor. I think he might be in real estate.
Then stick to that. A lot of wrestlers actually do become real estate agents after they can see why.
If you've got charisma and you know the area, I mean, it's it's very much a charisma. So, I mean, just like former athletes are always targeted by car dealerships because people like to think that they're buddy with stars. And yeah, Cowboy James Storm was my realtor.
Well, Todd thinks, and don't get me started on Vinci. Who?
Okay.
He's gone now. He's disappeared. Where is Vinci? We got Vignetti and then nothing.
I don't know. Imperium was a perfectly good tag team. So I don't know.
Well, anyway, as I was saying before, we saw the
Bring back Elias.
What's he
Justice for Elias.
Is he doing anything?
I think he's like a traveling preacher.
What, to Christianity?
Yeah, like I think he's doing that. He's doing this. I don't really know what he's doing. I mean, I don't know. I knew Ezekiel, but I didn't know Elias as well. So I'll ask.
I knew Elias, but not Ezekiel. Funny enough. But
that was weird. Well, then why don't you know what he's doing?
Because that's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know why. He doesn't.
Jimmy worked himself.
Yeah. Why did you? You're not supposed to ask me that question. You're supposed to just agree with me, Jeff, and that's it.
Have we met?
Yeah, well,
I'm not here to help you. And I think I've made that abundantly clear.
It doesn't matter. In this case, you're supposed to help me, damn it. But anyway,
wrong guy.
Like
it says evil right there.
That's true. He's an evil prick too, mind you. Well, Canada Spaceman says Elias was really Bruce Banner travels town to town. Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Equalizer style, taking care of trouble.
Gruss thinks that Imperium needs another member. Hopefully it's the Russian himself in Dragunov.
He's out for another 8 months.
But there's that. Alexander Wolf, do you bring him back?
For God's sake, please no. That guy sucked.
Yeah, no, he sucked. He actually did.
Talk about a guy who didn't work on his body. The ring is
Yeah.
excellent, and he looks like a garbage man.
He looks like a skinhead, really, too. Like his character comes across more like that. But anyway,
Well, they all sort of look like skinheads a little bit, but I
that's
mean,
true.
he looked like a skinhead though, with the physique of like the dishwasher at your local restaurant.
Oh shit, man! I think he's still wrestling. He's doing pretty well in Europe, actually. As a matter of fact,
Oh,
in
I'm sure he's
ICW and
killing it.
WXW.
I've heard about the British, the European indies, just in that all the talent that's there.
Dude, ICW is a big indie, man, in the UK, and they're always getting pretty big houses, man.
Did you say Ico Pro?
No.
All I
Remember
gotta
Ico
say
Pro?
is people say that NXT UK killed the British indie scene. NXT UK has been gone for 3 years. If the British indie scene was so great, how come nobody rebuilt it? If there was such a big market, somebody would have filled it.
Well, there was only 2 or 3 big ones, like you had ICW, you had Rev Pro,
Right.
and there's one more
And
that I'm
Progress.
missing. Oh, Progress, that's it.
Yeah.
They'll use your main 3, and all 3 of them were pretty decent.
How come somebody didn't buy one of them or start a new one and put some money in it? If it was such a healthy kicking scene, how come nobody stepped into the market? Because it never was. You imagined it.
WWE is close to ICW though. They do work together. You even see Triple H turn up there. But anyway,
Insane Clown Posse.
nah, Insane Championship Wrestling. Trust me, dude. They've had a lot of big names on their shows too. It's half decent, but it's stupid. That's where Joe Hendry made his name too. By the way, it's a Scottish.
I believe in Joe Hendry. So anyway, after Gargano is talking nicely to the Motor City Machine Guns, Ciampa comes up to him, and Ciampa looks like Big John Studd now, and he's going, "What the hell are you doing? You said by any means necessary. You said that. What's going on here? Why are you being nice to them? They took our spot. And so Ciampa finally gained a little bit of attitude. So get that attitude back, old man. This is the Blackheart. The Blackheart is the Ciampa that we want.
Yeah, and stay like that. I want the Sicilian psychopath to come back.
Right.
But anyway, we come back from commercial, and we see Randy Orton gets on the mic and calls Kevin Owens down for an ass whipping for revenge for what happened at Crown Jewel. Owens is on the stage, road agent Petey Williams, though, and referee Dan Engler, speaking of TNA, trying to keep him from coming down, but he rushes past them and gets right into it with Orton. As they go into the ring, Randy gets the better of him as more agents pull away. KO hits a pile driver on Randy Orton, and everyone's like, oh my God. Like checking up on him like he died. And to be honest, it was one of the safest pole drivers I've seen in years.
Yeah, it really was.
Which makes it even more silly. I mean, sometimes do they have to go this overboard? Especially when you see the pole driver didn't hit like he got hurt the way he did.
Yeah, listen, I understand the segment, what it was supposed to do. It's a band move, and Randy Orton's, there's pretending like his neck and back is held together with duct tape, as if he hasn't been like a dominant presence for the last year and a half.
And has been wrestling like all the fucking time.
Right. But okay, it was a very safe pile driver. Better that than an unsafe pile driver. But we have to remember it's scripted. This looked very scripted and staged, but yeah, it was a weak pile driver. But the story moved on, and this also, I mean, talking about stretching things, the whole thing with the stretcher into the ambulance and Cody going in there and Nick Aldis, and like the EMTs need someone else to close the door. Come on, I mean,
Yeah.
the EMTs usually close their own door and all. Whatever. This went on way too long afterwards. And then they showed the replay and showed just how non-impactful it was. And like, that's the thing with WWE. They're so formulaic. They're so tied to what they're going to do. They just don't adjust even when they should. And like I've always said this. They should always have like 2 standby short matches on just in case. Just in case they need to put something on, whatever. Apollo Crews versus Vinci again, whatever, and let them have a 6-minute match where something screwy happens or whatever, or
Right.
where's Legado del Fantasma, man? What's going on with Andrade? Why wasn't Carmelo Hayes saying anything? I mean, I don't know. It's just, this was a weird episode because, like I said, there was 40 minutes of good television in it, including Ciampa going crazy, but it was a 120-minute show, and I might be being generous with the 40 minutes of good television.
Yeah, maybe you were actually. Now that we think about it. So yeah, did I say? Randy Orton gets on the mic and calls Kevin Owens down for an ass whipping. Like I said, Owens on the stage. I said all that shit as KO hits a piledriver on Randy Orton, and the agents get in the way. Look, it seems like a good setup for a good storyline. I think Orton overacted it. He was groaning all the way to the back. You could hear him all the way. And, the commentators emphasize that the movie's banned.
But did you like the Mace Windu when his arm got cut off? The
whole time, dude, they're stretching him in the back, and he's just like, like the whole way. And I'm like, all right.
Oh, my third vertebrae. My C3 and C4.
So then how long can they keep Orton out for now till he comes back and gets revenge? Royal Rumble?
Orton, 2 weeks.
If it's 2 weeks, that's disappointing, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, aren't they going to fight at Survivor Series? Unless they want that to be a match at Royal Rumble.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Royal Rumble would be better. Well, Josh thinks this also could set up Cody versus KO at Survivor Series. Nothing. Yeah, that's where it's going first. It has to.
That's fine. Perfectly okay with that. Though, I mean, assuming Cody wins or it's another DQ, I mean, what then? I don't know.
I don't know either, man. But it's funny what Todd says. Shouldn't it be NWA Speed hosted by Father James Mitchell?
Well, he's a minister, and it was cocaine.
I can't believe. I'll never get. That's what sabotaged. They sabotaged themselves, dude, when they did that.
Duh.
But why would you think that's a good idea? Why would Corgan be like, yeah, go ahead and do it?
There's a lot of people who really believe there's no such thing as bad publicity. But there is bad publicity. Especially, I mean, listen, we've been watching NXT on CW now for 4 or 5 weeks, and all of the cutouts for holy shit and fuck you and whatever, all because it's a network that's they're on this network because it's aimed for kids, it's aimed for tweens, and Billy didn't realize that, I guess, that it really is a youth-oriented network that isn't trying to be adult-oriented. It's they have kiddie superhero shows and kiddie horror shows and kiddie soap opera shows. It's like, it's more, Dawson's Creek than Melrose Place.
Oof, very much so. Definitely not Melrose Place. Gus thinks that match will probably be at Saturday night's main event, but that's in December though, man. They can't hold out for 2 months.
December's fine. That'd be fine. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at Saturday night's main event. If Randy wants to take a month off, that's the perfect amount of time.
I think he's talking about the Cody, Orton, not Orton. What's it called?
Cody KO.
Cody Kevin Owens. Yeah.
Could be either. Maybe it's a triple threat.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe that's when Randy finally realizes that maybe Kevin wasn't all wrong about Cody. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, what else happened in this show?
Well, we come back from commercial as Randy. I don't know. I already said that's all what I already said. Well, anyway, that leads us to our next matchup, and it is DIY in Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Pretty Fucking Crappy in Elton Prince and Kid Wilson. At this point, Pretty Deadly are pretty done, Jeff, because they get squashed with a fairy tale ending from Tommaso Ciampa onto Elton Prince.
Yeah, Ciampa never tagged in Gargano. Ciampa did all the work himself. He killed those. He just took this guy from side of the staircase room into at least 4 different times, put him in the ring, destroyed him. Gargano wanted to be tagged in. Ciampa ignored him. And then they won. And then Ciampa, when they were raising their arms together, Ciampa sort of, dragged his arm away from Gargano's, walked out of the ring, and basically stomped up the ramp by himself. he's pissed. He took care of business. He's all business. That's it. Is he mad at Gargano? Is he just all business? We don't know. Ooh, the tension.
Ooh, the tension. Josh says, Jimmy, you mean the Yes Boys?
Yes, boy.
More like the Poof Boys. If you don't know what that is,
the Colin White songers.
Exactly what Jeff said. Zane Vishy says, I'd laugh if it were funny.
By the way, one of them put a baby in and outside of Kelly Kincaid, Quinn McKay - ex Lippman, and the other one married another NXT wrestler. So those guys are you can call whatever you want, but
they're yesing.
They are yes boys. They're doing all right for themselves. They get the Jeff Lippman overachiever recognizes overachiever award.
Oh, relax, come on now. Well, anyway,
they were with my ex-wife.
Do win the match in the squash. Yeah,
I already said that.
We won't go there, but yeah, I've never seen your ex-wife though. I've seen others.
You've never seen Quinn McKay Lippman?
I don't think I have. No. Why would have
Quinn McKay? She used to be the interviewer for Ring of Honor, and she changed her name to Kelly Kincaid on NXT.
Well, is she no relation to you though at all?
She's my ex-wife, Quinn McKay Lippman.
Of course. Anyway, let's get back to the SmackDown, shall we, though, Jeff? Because we see Tiffy is rolling into Candice LeRae backstage and mocks her for losing earlier. Nia Jackson rolls up to yell at Tiffany for getting this tag team match for them, and Stratton tries to talk her way out of it as Candice gives her some guff as well, and Jax walks off, telling Tiffany her plan better work. And that leads us to the matchup between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, of course, versus Nia Jax and Tiffy time in Tiffany Stratton. Not bad back and forth match, but of course Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill do win by pinfall with a KOD from Belair onto Stratton. There was a little fuckery going on too in this match, but I'm not going to bother getting into it.
Well, I think we should get it. I mean, the fuckery was that Candice LeRae came to help Tiffy and Nia Jax, and actually did, but Tiffany Stratton was delaying, saying, "I don't need your help. I don't need your help. We don't need you. Go away. Go away." And because of that, the heels ended up taking the loss. But so that sort of furthers that story. Tiffany's plan didn't work because Tiffany herself screwed up the plan. So Nia is not going to be happy. But what I do want to say is this is the best I've ever seen Jade Cargill look in a match. She looked natural. Her moves hit. She actually got her bro kick to actually hit above the knee. It actually looked like it hit a chest. Her super kicks hit. She was where she was supposed to be. This was the most comfortable I've seen. And I'm not saying that she's Bianca Belair. I'm not saying she's Rhea Ripley. I'm not saying she's Becky Lynch. But I'm saying at this match, she looked just as good as all of the other women. She looked like a fully functional professional wrestler. And like I said, this is the best I've ever seen her look. And they did they've been doing the power, face-offs between, they've teased it with Bianca and Jade, and they actually did it here with Bianca and Nia, and actually let Nia get the better of the power thing, like King Kong Bundy got the better of Hogan with the power thing. And I actually, this, as far as in ring, with the story, to me, I thought the end was a little bit corny and with the fuckery, but the rest of the match I thought was pretty good.
It's probably the match of the night, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it probably was. But yeah, I mean, Jade has improved, like slowly but surely, but she has improved. And at least we're seeing progress with her here in WWE, whereas in AEW, it felt like there was hardly any progress, if you know what I mean, in terms of her in-ring capabilities. But there is here. Sonic, too much chronic, Jimmy. My eyes are dry as fuck, man. So maybe it is too much chronic. They're real dry, man. Lately, I've been waking up, Jeff. I don't know what's going on. And my eyes, it shouldn't be the case, but for whatever reason, I wake up with my eyes dry, man.
Take fish oil at night. Take 2 or 3 fish oil tablets at night.
That actually does the job?
Yeah, for 10 years, people were telling you that it did all sorts of other things. It turns out it does absolutely nothing, but it does help keep you inside lubricated, basically.
Oh, I used to take fish. I mean, I do take vitamin pills, but I think I don't need it though. You know, when you go for a pierce and it comes out fluoro type of thing, it means your body's like, rejecting it pretty much because you don't need it. That's what's been happening to me lately. So maybe I'm taking the wrong vitamins. But
Right.
anyway,
Maybe you need
Candace
time
Spaceman-
release ones or lower
Maybe.
dosages. Because you're right. If it's too
Maybe.
much, you just piss it out.
Yeah, you just piss it out. Yeah, because that means your body doesn't need it.
Right.
Candace Spaceman says Jim Muller and Jeff Allah will never forget Kamala.
No, I mean,
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to get at now, Spaceman? Actually,
you love
speaking of
Uganda.
that, yeah, we do. Absolutely.
I even
Uganda
remember the
giant.
Botswana beast.
Botswana. Where's Kimchi?
There were a lot of kimchis. The last time I saw kimchi was in MLW, by the way.
What? Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Doing what?
I think he was in a battle royal. I mean, Duke the Dumpster was in
With
it.
the mask and everything.
Yeah, with the mask and everything, and the pole, but he didn't have anyone that he needed to make behave.
He's fucking around, Sonic. I think. Yeah, he's being sarcastic, by the way. About your ex-wife.
Yeah. Right.
Come on, Sonic. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's true. Me and Quinn McKay were never actually married, but on the Ring of Honor Facebook group, I used to always call her Quinn McKay -Lippman, and people used to yell at me, "You wish that she would be with you." I'm like you wrestling fans are so stupid.
Sonic, touche. By the way, touche.
Mm-hmm.
The King of 2K24 says, "Good night, big day tomorrow. Jimmy and Jeff, great show so far, and to everyone, stay safe."
What's tomorrow?
I'm sorry that you have to go. Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow, Aaron? What's the big day? And hopefully,
Is he gonna lose his virginity?
I'm not gonna get into that, but
is he being deployed? Is he gonna are they gonna drop him on the Iranian nuclear facilities?
Well, don't say that.
You don't have a bomb, but we have an Aaron Ben Shlomo.
Hey, knock on wood. We don't want that. We don't want that. But actually, before we do move on, how is the good old USA feeling after the big?
I am not touching this with a 10-foot pool. Move on.
Fair enough.
The fuck's wrong with you?
I don't blame you, but I'm just saying, how's everything going after all that?
Just shut the fuck up and move on.
all right, fine. You're right. For once, we won't talk politics here, but which is
right. So the Motor City Machine Guns are back. Rubbing one out, and Gargano and Ciampa come up to them, and they're like, "We challenge you to," and then they're interrupted by B-Fab and the Street Profits saying, "Too late. We talked to Nick Aldis, and it's official. Next week, you're getting the smoke in Milwaukee." And oh my God, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins look like Kane and the Undertaker next to all of these clowns. This is just ridiculous. And by the way, Montez Ford is losing that muscle weight again.
You think so?
Yes.
No, it's just what he was wearing. We couldn't see. I mean,
no, I've seen him. Remember when he bulked up in that year, the Elimination Chamber, when he stole the show? Now, granted, maybe it did him no good, so maybe he's like, fuck that shit. But anyway, obviously Ciampa is going to cost the Street Profits next week or something, and Ciampa or Gargano is going to stop him. But I am hoping beyond hope that the Street Profits get the smoke and get those tag team titles off those midgets, and because they look like a tag team, and them turning heel and being a dominant tag team is good for tag team wrestling in WWE.
Did you notice earlier in the week there was reports going by what Montez was writing on his Twitter that possibly, he's teasing that he could end up going solo.
So storyline
company. Yeah, probably.
It's so storyline. What happened is MVP retweeted it, so everyone's like, "Ooh, it's got to be true." No, it's when Dawkins and Montez Ford are both tweeting the same thing. It's storyline, people.
100%. I know so many people are so fucking gullible, but it is what it is. I hope they do win too. But the thing is,
No, they're going to get screwed because that's the storyline. I mean, you see they were wearing all black. I mean, they're turning heel, and this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel back. But they're going to get those tag team championships either at Saturday night's main event but certainly before Royal Rumble.
Well, isn't Milwaukee also the home of Ciampa?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure he's from Wisconsin, so
I know it means the bountiful land or the plentiful land. Milwaukee.
Have you been to Wisconsin before, Jeff?
Like on part of a highway, that went through Wisconsin to leaving Illinois to go back into Illinois. So you
not didn't really. Actually stay around to check out the site because I heard it's very boring and quiet, too quiet.
All I know about Milwaukee, other than sports teams, is from Wayne's World when Alice Cooper told him Milwaukee. It means the land, the plentiful land, or the bountiful land. Yes. And they're like, I did not know that, Alice Cooper.
I love the accent, but shout out to Chris Wheeland. He sounds more Canadian than frigging Canadians do sometimes, man.
Take off, eh?
No.
Oot in the boot.
Oot in the boot.
His progress is great.
Gus thinks the Street Profits are going straight to catering. I don't know, man. Hopefully not.
It's free food.
And Canada Spaceman says Jimmy was hoping to hear Jeff went cow tipping. No, well, not exactly.
I've been cow tipping.
I have too, actually. I'm not going to lie. Many years ago.
I went to summer camp 7 years in New England.
Oh, so in Massachusetts?
No.
There's a lot of cows there in Boston?
There's cows everywhere.
Oh, I think my internet just fucked up. Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Oh, good. I was going to say, there's a lot of cows in Massachusetts.
There's cows everywhere. I mean, that's the thing about cows. They're every friggin' where.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But I was in Maine and New Hampshire.
I heard that's nice and peaceful there too, but probably pretty boring.
Beautiful. Well, it's not necessary. I mean, there's some fun places.
Tire would be great, right?
Portsmouth in New Hampshire is fun.
In what way?
I mean, it's a little city that's on the water. There's a nice little main street where there's a lot of bars and sort of music. It's sort of like a little artsy scene. It's quiet. It's sort of like Provincetown, Rhode Island. But if you don't need big activity, but you want artsy food and good food and and a fun little bar scene, and you're not really upset that you're basically going to the same place all the time. It's great. Like me at this age, I don't care. I'll go to the same 3 restaurants anyway.
I'm sure they're pretty good restaurants though.
I mean, the thing is, I hate most restaurants. So even the pizza joint or the burger joint I go to is I just go to the same ones.
I hope it's not a gourmet pizza joint you're going to, because I can't.
No.
And then they charge an arm and a leg because it's gourmet.
I'm from New York. I don't want gourmet pizza. I want greasy, cheesy. You got to fold it over. You got to, hold the cheese on while you're laying some of the excess grease strip off.
Hell yeah.
I want paper plates.
Paper plates.
Red and white checkered, plastic tablecloths.
Now we're going old school, man. Now we're going real old school.
I don't want ground beef. I want sliced meatballs on that.
Oh, man, I'm starving,
I want chopped onion. I don't want onion, sliced onions. No, you lazy fucks.
Well, then again, Grass he's actually got a good point. Just go to Olive Garden.
The Olive Garden near me closed.
Really?
Can you believe that shit?
Down here. Why was it that fucking... Yeah, all the red Solo cups, right? Of course.
I don't know.
This red Solo, like what fucking Montez Ford and shit carry around.
But I mean, that Olive Garden it was huge, so the rent was probably high. But I mean, I thought that the whole thing closed, but I keep seeing commercials for it, so obviously it was just mine. And I'm like, fuck. But it might not be. It might have been the owner if there was a franchise. Maybe they went broke or they got divorced or something. You never know.
Do you go to any Greek restaurants for crying out loud? You should be.
Do we have any what?
I know you've got them, not if you have any, but do you go to any Greek restaurants?
Occasionally.
Other
There's a
than
good
Jimmy's,
one.
other than Jimmy's fucking seafood, obviously.
Jimmy's Seafood Sunday at the Ravens game.
See, for
Yeah, I
wrestling and
mean,
football, Jimmy's would be the perfect place.
no, they have Jimmy's in the stadium. It's
Oh, do
expensive,
they?
but
No shit. But didn't the owner or the son or whatever, used to play for the Ravens, but then got hurt and had
yeah,
to retire
yeah,
early?
yeah, but yeah, major injury. Anyway, yeah. I mean, there's a really good Greek place in Colombia. Actually, my parents like it. So when they're sort of doing their up and down trips, we go there. But there's Greek Town. There's a whole place called Greek
Oh
Town. The
yeah, of
restaurant's
course.
called
Yeah.
Acropolis and Samos's, and yeah, actually Samos's has great pizza too. I mean, yeah, and then
Samos's, Samosis.
well, I don't know if everyone
That's how
pronounces
you
it
say it in Greek.
Samos's, but that doesn't mean they're pronouncing it right.
No, because
Problem with
my
Samos
dad is from
is that
Samos.
they don't take credit cards. They only take cash, and I never have cash.
That's a great thing. No, but you know what? I heard America in general, like here, everybody, it's like it's hard to pay with cash, dude. Some places will like, I kid you not, will be like, nah, only card only. I'm like, what are you talking about? Fucking take cash.
We don't
But
want,
I
we
heard
don't
in the
want to be
States-
robbed, but I haven't been there in a while. I wouldn't be surprised if they had like the tap thing now where you can do
Tap and go.
debit or like PayPal or Zeal or something. They just don't want to pay the credit card fees.
Grass, now you're getting heat with me, brother. I can't believe. Look at this shit. This
But
guy.
I have a lamb gyro at least once a month.
Oh, God, Grass, stop it, man. Can't believe you don't. How can you hate Greek food, bro?
All right, come
You're
on.
the only person. All right, fine.
This isn't the Food Network. You can go on Vicky Bronson Vic Ray's show if you want to talk about food.
Yeah, go to RBV's, in Vickery Eats. But anyway, A-Town Down Under, which is pretty much is our main event. But it's A-Town Down Under in Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And Alex
Nobody
Shelley
cared.
and Chris Sabin. Yeah,
Nobody
I
cared
don't
about
even-
either of
again, I
these
don't
teams,
even-
by the way.
I mean, Waller looked all right in this match. I'll say that. But anyway, look, in the end, of course, the City fucking Guns.
He looked all right. He looked.
Pinfall with skull
You know what?
and bones.
He looked like Jade Cargill usually looks, which is a little bit less than all right.
Refreshed. He's refreshed. He just came back from being home for a while in Australia, obviously. So,
well, maybe he shouldn't have
sure,
time
yeah.
off then.
no, he was wrestling here in the Indies. Like, yeah, he came back to the Indie that he was.
Then he's got no
originally from.
excuse because he sucked.
Oh,
He was missing
bro.
moves. He was slow. He flopped into the corner. It was like cartoonish. It was like me.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go that far, Todd. You know what I mean? Because usually he's half decent in the ring. I'll say it was just a one off. But
At best, he's
come on,
average.
it was against the Motor City Machine Guns.
They're the best tag team in the history of the world.
Ah, boy, come on. But anyway, well, I mean, more importantly, what's going on with Austin Theory?
I don't know.
I mean, he's
all
been
I know is
relegated.
it's gotta be hard to work when you're supposed to be throwing punches and elbows and you gotta go like this all the time.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into this match. Basically,
You just
the
bring
Motor
in
City
the
Machine
Haiti
Guns win.
kid, for God's sake, and Microman,
No. Oh God.
Little
No,
Beaver,
no. Well, I'll be down
Hornswoggle.
for that. Didn't Swoggle actually sign Legends deal? As a matter of fact, he did just recently.
No idea. Who, Dylan Postal?
did.
I don't know.
He actually has. Yeah, it was all over the internet too at the time. So maybe we will see him again. Be careful what you wish for, because we might just get it, Jeff.
He's probably
Anyway.
bigger than the Motor City Machine Guns.
Wouldn't be too far off. I mean, come on, let's be real. But anyway, like I said, this Motor City Machine Guns win by pinfall via the Skulls and Bones. Cool. It was a nothing match. It didn't matter. But we come back from commercial and we see Roman Reigns brooding again to send us to the break. And when we do come back, we get a little medical update on Randy Orton telling us he's been treated for cervical injuries, Jeff.
Wow.
Sounds really bad.
I didn't even know that men had cervixes.
Gruss says bring back Billy and Chuck. Of course, you'd love Billy and Chuck, wouldn't you? Huh?
Well,
What about
Billy
Rico?
is under contract somewhere else, I'm told.
That's true. Josh says Lord Littlebrook.
There you go. Now you're
Damn.
talking.
Damn. Oh, God. Anyway, Kevin the Spaceman's actually got a good reply. Billy and Chuck are now called Pretty Deadly, except they pretty suck.
Yes,
Be fair.
boy.
Yes, boy. Anyway, let's go back, shall we, to Roman Reigns. The all new, all different bloodline in the ring, and Solo Sikoa demands that Buffalo acknowledge him. But enter Roman Reigns. Solo tells him to acknowledge him as Undisputed Tribal Chief. Reigns lets it mellow for a moment for asking Buffalo if they acknowledge Solo and getting a loud response in the negative and saying that neither does he. He won't ever acknowledge Sikoa and he's here to challenge him one-on-one. Winner is the only tribal chief. Solo then laughs it off and says he doesn't need a fight. He's already Undisputed Tribal Chief, which is a fair call. I would have said the same thing. And in case you haven't noticed, all these people acknowledged him, apparently, Jeff. The crowd does not acknowledge him, though. Yeah. I didn't. No one did. Zayn was the only one acknowledging him, apparently, Jeff. It was Zany. Anyway,
bad Zayn. I thought you were talking about Sami Zayn.
No, we're talking about the Zany Zayn. But anyway, he tells Roman that you can't be tribal chief without a tribe, and he challenges Reigns to go find 4 people in that locker room that will team up with him, and then they can go to war. Roman asks if he's talking about war games and points out that there's only 4 of them. Solo counts he is 1, Tama Tonga is 2, Jacob Fatu 3, Loa is 4, and the 5th guy is apparently Sami Zayn.
His dog, Sami Zayn.
His dog.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, dog pound.
Yeah, DPGC. Come on. Dog pound is the shit back in the day. But anyway, shout out to Corrupt and Daz. Reigns doesn't seem to believe it. Sammy appears on the stage as Solo's bloodline attacks him from behind. The Usos make the save and Zayn hangs back on the ramp as the all-new, all-different bloodline overwhelm the originals. Solo calls Sammy to the ring. Zayn walks down. Sikoa tells him to kick Roman in the face and holds him up. And then we see a haluva kick on Solo Sikoa. Sammy's with the originals. Woo, yay, as Fatu eats a Superman punch and a haluva kick off of his own. Reigns fired up, calling for it. Spear on Solo. Sammy circles Roman. An uneasy peace between them as the Usos return to the ring. Jay throws his one up. Jim throws his one up. Sammy and Roman turn to see them and then look back at each other, and Zayn throws his one up as Reigns stares at him for a beat before throwing his one up. And the original bloodline stands united, and that's the show. Can I ask, why does it feel like Sami Zayn is in a power position by the way they formed all 4 of them?
He's the glue. I mean, he's the, it's a typical movie trope where you need the outsider to get the locals together to rise up against evil. I mean, it happened in Ant-Man Quantumania, John Carter of Mars. I mean, this is all part of the heroic journey that the outsider has to come in to save it. I mean, every time James T. Kirk rescues a planet, this is what it is. It's just typical storytelling. Sammy's the one who's willing to forgive and forget, and he's been everyone's dog, and maybe his speech at the beginning made Roman realize that he does have love, and it's just a shame that Roman didn't actually turn. What he should have done is before he put his hands up, he should have stared a dagger holes into Jay, and then stopped and said, "I'm sorry," and then put his ones up.
That would have been cool. But that's what I mean, Jeff. I feel like they're not thinking properly. Things are getting rushed again.
I'm not sure that not thinking and rushed are two things, are necessarily the same thing. I mean, for a well-crafted story where a lot of things go very slowly, they seem to forget some of the details, and sometimes things don't make sense. I mean,
100%, man.
I mean, towards the opening segment with Jimmy and Jay, the way Roman was treating them, like, I thought that was taken care of last week, and whatever. It's wrestling. I mean, I have to be honest. WWE is doing a lot of good things, but they really are writing for ninth graders.
damn it, man! Don't say that. Don't fucking.
People are
put
calling it
like that.
cinema, and I agree, it's cinema. Just like Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace was
I know what you're
cinema,
saying. I know what
but it
you
was
mean.
but it was for ninth graders. They're writing for ninth grader level, and they seem to be perfectly happy with that.
Gruss says Roman's the evil guy, Solo's the good guy. They could go down that route eventually. Like, you know what I mean? Solo was right all along. See, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like we haven't gotten the complete story about even Solo and why he decided to become the tribal chief and blah, blah, blah. There's no backstory
We're never
with
going
certain
to.
things. Well, then that's lazy to me.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
you
to fill
need
these
the
gaps.
team from Breaking Bad to write Better Call Saul to have a spin-off
Maybe.
series.
But do we really? It's common sense too, Jeff. I mean, come on.
I mean, I suppose we're supposed to go back to that Roman said that he was the heir apparent. He wasn't ready yet. And Solo, once
Right.
Roman lost, is like, well, I'm ready now. And the whole story is that,
True.
he's not supposed to be ready, but somehow he is.
And Sonic says it's been this way for a long time. Most people want to say it like
Well,
Jeff. Yeah, I
you
agree.
might be
I've been
right,
saying
but
this.
I think they were paying more attention to the details before, or maybe it's just that it was so bad before that even
That this
ninth
looks
grade
so
stories
good.
that made sense seem better, and maybe we're just getting tired of it. I don't know.
Nah, some moments were brilliant and brilliantly done.
There
But
have
I
been
still agree
times,
before.
but that's just great storytelling. I mean, listen, there were plenty of things for ninth graders that the stories are great. I mean, so eventually everything happens in
Much.
wrestling. That's a pretty big faction, though. But
Yeah, that's too
sure.
much, man. What are they
I
gonna do?
mean,
Raise hell and destroy the whole company? Like,
at some point, Roman Reigns will be the third guy in the new NWO, and Bobby Heenan will go, "I was right all along. I told you so." But that'll be whoever
right.
said it in there that Solo was the good guy all along.
Well, like Sonic says, I've been watching this crap forever. I don't even gotta watch it and still get it. It's like us, dude. It's all of us, It is what it is. But I just want some more details sometimes. And maybe I'm asking for too much, but you're right, Jeff. It is kind
I
of
don't think
nursery
we
rhyme
are
shit.
asking for too much. I mean, it just and there are favorable WWE X accounts who say they always coast during this time. I don't care.
I hate
Laziness
that. That's a
begets
stupid
laziness.
excuse.
That's not an
Right.
excuse. I mean, yeah, you got people taking time off and whatever, but I don't know. I just think that they're happy to do what they're doing, and I think that a few extra details would be nice. I think that it would have been more impactful in the beginning. Like Jimmy said to Roman, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Instead of the street talk, he said, "Roman, you assured him that we were all equals last week. You said this wasn't happening, and you just did it again."
It's true.
Instead, he ran off like Roman's errand boy.
Doesn't make sense, man. It is what it is. Oh, look.
Yep.
We can't always have things perfect, right? So, we just got to, go with it and see what happens. And like Todd said, they just signed Lance Anoa'i, so there's more Bloodline members coming. Again, Todd, we spoke about that at the start of the show. And I'm not happy about it. If it's true, he sucks. Come on, Todd. You got to agree with me on this, man. He's just not good enough for this type of storyline. But I don't know. We'll see. But you know what? In saying that, Jeff, we might as well take it home, dude. We have done 2 hours pretty much on the dot. But if you've got to give it a rating, what would you give it out of an A to Z?
Sheesh.
Tough one.
I mean, the parts that were good, but there was so much filler. I can't go better than a C minus, which I guess is. I mean, if you take that to mean a 7 out of 10, I feel like that's almost too high. But a D feels cool. I'm going to go D plus.
Ooh. And I bet you weren't going into the show. I'm talking about this show right here, thinking that you're going to give it a D plus. But once you go over it, it's funny.
Yeah, I was coming in with a C, but
me too.
This could have been a half-hour episode, and I would have called it. If they did all the good stuff in a half hour, I would have called it an A.
Yeah, me too. See, that's the thing. A lot of people did rate it like an A, like online. People loved it, dude.
Well, I get because storylines progress. You got the Profits getting a title match. You see Ciampa and Gargano crumbling. You know, the Tiffy, Nia, Candice thing. You know, they remembered Naomi as a title match. The Bloodline, you know, the old Bloodline OG reunites. I mean, you know, you got all the things that somebody who likes Dragon Ball Z would be excited about. You got, you know, you got all the tweens to high schoolers, you know, would be thrilled with this, and that's what wrestling sort of is. But sometimes they try to make you think it's a little bit more, and I guess the thing about wrestling fans is we forget.
Yeah, facts. It's true, man. It's true. And I hated Dragon Ball Z just quietly. Couldn't stand that shit.
Good for you.
I mean, it sucked. Well, you liked it?
Never watched it.
Good. Neither did I. Neither have I, really. Just not my thing. Anyway, Jeff, if I had to give it a rating, it'd probably... I was going into it with a C. I could have given it an A for certain things, but I'm going to go... I'll say C+. I'll stick to C. To be fair,
I'll raise mine back to the C-.
Just because it's probably a bit too, you know, I don't know. Cold-blooded says D because I don't want a world without... Get out of here, cold-blooded. God damn it.
That is a tough mantra in life.
Bad. That's not cold enough, bro. Good, Todd, because neither have we. Sorry, Grass. It's just not my thing, man. Especially you hate Greek food. So
yeah.
I hate...
All right, let's give our plugs and move along.
All right, tell them where they can find you, Jeff.
You know what? You can't. Don't find me. It's all over. It's right down here. It says at Dose Evil or at Icarus Fell MD. The show is Garden of Doom. You get 3 tiles. You get Garden of Doom, Garden Views, and GOD presents the Book of Black. That's where you can find me. Other than that, you can find me occasionally doing this show or other review shows with Jimmy, and occasionally you can find me on Pro Wrestle Times and assorted other places where I guest. But that's it. Just Garden of Doom. Just subscribe to Garden of Doom and do like the Breck commercial with Heather Locklear. Tell 2 friends and have them tell 2 friends and have them tell 2 friends, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, nice. Well, if you want to follow me, you can right there at DJ MassFX on the Twitter. And also at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com with $5. Not only do you get the best, but the realest talk in all of professional wrestling. Also, please like and subscribe right here at Channel Attitude, at Hameen Media Group YouTube channel, where we're itching ever so closer to that 1,000 mark. Please like and subscribe and share it all around. And please get us over the line because we're so close. So please.
And then, right, get your shit together. My back hurts. I can't do this every week.
Yeah, John. Tell John. For crying out loud.
I just did. I said, Enright, get your shit together.
3 weeks in a row is not good enough, John. Come on now. Stop being...
Not for me.
He's pussy whipped, that's why. Yeah, I said it.
Aww. That's so lame. Oh my God. What is it with your co-hosts and falling in love like this?
I have no idea. It's true, but you're right. That's weird, dude.
Cool guys don't fall in love at first sight.
Our former co-host has got a new one now, another one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And he's
not Jargo. He's still married.
No, Jargo's married. Absolutely married. Happily married.
Hey, listen, you can be married and fall in love with someone else.
You can, I guess. But anyway, let's not go there.
I may or may not have done that.
You said it, not me. You've told me, but you know, I didn't share no dirty laundry.
It's all part of the public record, and among the records of the Circuit Court for Baltimore County, the Family Law Division.
Now you're telling everybody. Fucking go look it up. But
I am an open book.
Well, yes and no. Actually, you kind of are. Depends. But anyway.
I am, just nobody cares.
Well, I care. Come on, Jeff.
Yes,
but anyway, you're throwing me off now, and I forgot where I was up to in the plugs. Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe also at HameenMediaGroup.popping.com for our affiliate shows. Like and subscribe at the PWC Network on YouTube. And I think that's about it. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is my co-host, Dr. Jeff Lippman. And you've been listening and watching the SmackATTACK right here on Hameen Media Group YouTube channel and on channelattitude.com after the fact. And we're out. Until then, I'll see you guys next for The Wreckage tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern with myself and the vet. So look out
Stay evil, my friend.
Stay evil, and thank you to everybody that's actually joined us here. And like Todd said, kayfabe, Jeff, kayfabe for crying out loud. Thank you, Mr. Comment King. Anyway, peace, and we're out. See yous.
I bet. Cause she wanna be on TV with a nigga. I bet. Bet you never thought that she would cheat on you, nigga. I bet. Don't be mad at me, I pull that pepper out and squeeze on you niggas. No sympathy for you niggas. Ho, shut the fuck up. Miss me with the bullshit. Ballin' like a bitch. All my niggas hood rich. Bring some bitches to the crib, show 'em what the wood is. Yo, bitch look like Sinead. Oh my goodness. It's 500, that be the block. Then you see that ghetto bird when you hear the shots. Where the plug at? Tell him meet me at the dock. Sent a little homie through, it might be the cops. Hold up, I'm getting money, boy, your girl want me. Cause I got them toys, Rarries and them Bentleys and the Venadors. Double-decker buses and them private jets I spin it on. Painted on the Maserati, look like it been shitted on. Make her lift her skirt up if she nervous, I'm a pervert. I be in that pussy deep, a nigga fucking up a cervix. Leave the condoms on the bed, man, I do that shit on purpose. Cause I hope a nigga see it when he coming home from why they wanna leave with a nigga. I bet. Cause you wanna be on TV with a nigga. I bet. Bet you never thought that she would cheat on you, nigga. I bet. Don't be mad at me, I pull that pepper out and squeeze on you niggas. No sympathy for you niggas. I got 100 on it. she ain't faithful to you, nigga. Word around town, you know thoughts get around. Nah, she testify, you wouldn't trust her, homie. I give a fuck what you know, makes no sense, you hold rose. Guess where's pedo, pockets on Rosie, yo. Rosetta, my stones, 8 mil for the home, bitch, so comfortable. Get your ass off like I'm bitch, bounce shit, now shit, put it in your mouth, shit. I've been playing with the pussy, time to put that thing in. Bang it, I'm banging my banger off safety. I'm slaying, she tastes it, she swallow, she wasted. Fucking amazing, pump out that bass like rebasing. It's a rough demonstration, the modest replace it. Come again, I replay it. Speed it up on speed racer. Bet if we catch a line, she gon' reverse it. Cause I didn't wanna leave with a nigga, I bet. Cause you wanna be on TV with a nigga, I bet. Bet you never thought that she would cheat on you, nigga, I bet. Don't be mad at me, I pull that pepper out and squeeze on you, nigga.
Yeah.
No sympathy for you, nigga.
50. I bet your bitch will be ready when I say I'm finna leave. We only fuck with the foreign Ferrari or some keys. You be that nigga she call on when she need someone to love. I be that nigga we just turn up, we just pull out for. After the stroking, I be nothing in the mouth like this. And you come home like honey, I'm home, come and give me a kiss. It's not a thing for me, really not a thing for me. We from different sets, why your bitch wanna bang with me? All the time, I be on the ground. Who's look at me, the dollar signs run across their mind. It's the paper, they know a nigga get it. Shorty gon' be with it, let a nigga get it.
Shawty wanna leave with a nigga, I bet. Yeah. Cause you wanna be on TV with a nigga, I bet. Bet you never thought that she would cheat on you, nigga, I bet. Don't be mad at me, I pull that chopper out and squeeze on you, niggas. No sympathy for you, niggas.
I'm not fucking y'all niggas. I don't give a fuck who y'all is. And I don't give a fuck if you Chris Brown or Tiger. And y'all not giving me my coin. I wanna be on TV. I wanna be on Love and Hip Hop or How